I'm the shit, I'm the shit. Bitch, all jokes aside.
All right, now, speaking of somebody speaking up, who's helping, Draymond Green, bro. Like, not for nothing, y'all, people, fans, listeners, viewers, protect that man at all costs, bro. Uh-oh. I've never heard an active elite ball player do what he did. This is some real shit he said. I'm gonna play what he said about the NBA. I much respect to him for this. I'm surprised you didn't hear this, Quasi.
It went viral? People was talking about it?
I mean, of course they would try to stop it from going viral because what he said was very important. So you know they're going to try to silence that. They're not going to try to let that go viral. But yeah, it's out there.
I would like to talk about something that's really bothering me. And it's the treatment of players in this league. To watch Andre Drummond before the game sit on the sideline, then go to the back, and then come out in street clothes because a team is going to trade him is bull. Because when James Harden asked for a trade and essentially dogged it, I don't think there was no surprise or there's no one's going to fight back that James was dogging it his last days in Houston. But he was castrated for wanting to go to a different team, and everybody destroyed that man. And yet a team can come out and say, oh, we want to trade a guy, and then that guy is to go sit. And if he doesn't stay professional, then he's a cancer, and he's not good in someone's locker room, and he's the issue. And we've seen situations of Harrison Barnes getting pulled off the bench. DeMarcus Cousins finding out that he's traded in an interview after the All-Star game. And we continue to let this happen. But I got fined for stating my opinion of what I thought should happen with another player. But teams can come out and continue to say, oh, we're trading guys, we're not playing you. And yet we're to stay professional. At some point, as players, we need to be treated with the same respect and have the same rights that the team can have. Because as a player, you're the worst person in the world when you want a different situation. But a team can say they're trading you, and that man is to stay in shape. He is to stay professional. And if not, his career is on the line. At some point, this league has to protect the players from embarrassment like that. We talk all of this stuff about you can't do this, you can't say that publicly. If you say that publicly, you're fine. Anthony Davis got fined, I think, $100,000 or something like that for demanding a trade publicly. But you can say Andre Drummond's getting traded publicly, and we're looking to trade him publicly, and he's to stay professional and just deal with it. But then when Kyrie Irving say, oh, my mental health is off, everybody go crazy about that too. Do you not think that affects someone mentally? As much as we put into this game to be great, to come out here and be in shape, to produce for fans every single night, and most importantly, to help your team win, do you think that doesn't affect someone mentally? But as players, we're told to, no, you can't say that, you can't say this, but teams can. It goes along the same lines of when everyone wants to say, oh, man, that young guy can't figure it out. But no one wants to say the organization can't figure it out. At some point, the players must be respected in these situations, and it's ridiculous, and I'm sick of seeing it. Y'all have a great night. I'll see y'all tomorrow or Wednesday.
Protect that man, son. He said some shit, boy. I've never heard an NBA player talk like that publicly. That was at a press conference after a game. Quasi?
Kind of cap a little bit.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he's being a little dramatic. Because I'm listening to him talk, and I don't recall, I've been watching the NBA since 1989.
Right.
Like hard body. I don't recall all these times where a player was embarrassed.
But you wouldn't know.
No. He's talking about public embarrassment. He's specifying how players get ridiculed for publicly speaking on situations they want or asking for trades. But when a team publicly embarrasses somebody, right?
Right.
He had one example.
Also,
am I bugging or did he not just keep using the same example?
Well, we do know that. Well, his argument should have been, he should have leaned more into that. elite players being treated above average players? Because that's an argument.
But is that the embarrassment, or
okay.
is the embarrassment them announcing something that the players don't agree to?
Yeah, or don't know.
Yeah, because that's like
a little
like me
unprofessional.
thinking I'm on the best team in the world, right?
Right,
And then out of nowhere they're like, "Oh, bitch, you stepping down."
Right, but they do the shit at the drop of a dime. Like,
Yeah, they
you'll
do.
you'll literally be playing a game, game over, and you go in the locker room and you getting traded.
But what's the nice way
You
to
got
do
to
it?
uproot your whole life.
That's stress. That's stress.
When's the right time to do it? You got a
Treat me-
game tomorrow.
Treat me like you would treat the elite player.
Okay, hold on.
Right.
What? Because the LeBron got the biggest.
preference,
No, he doesn't. He got the biggest backlash for announcing he was going to Miami.
But not from the NBA.
That's where it came from.
The backlash came from the fans.
No, after the NBA presented it the way they presented it. The commentator, it was the analysts on the shows that
We're
dug
talking
in
about
his ass.
I think his argument with the organization itself.
No, well, okay,
Because the analysts are not the organization.
no.
He was actually talking about like the actual teams, the owners.
He didn't specify. He said that people get ridiculed. When I hear people get ridiculed, I'm thinking media.
He mean the team,
Because
like how the teams
yeah, but
handle players.
the team doesn't have a how through what medium. When players get condemned for shit, that's media.
Well,
He's talking about media's reaction
I
to.
don't think so.
Media went in on all the examples he gave. Kyrie Irving, the mental health thing. Media went in on him like, oh, he's a problem in Brooklyn or whatever the case may be. What's the other one? Anthony Davis.
Right.
He paid a fine to
but
the
then he also-
league, but where does the conversation happen about him? It happens in media.
But see, the thing he's saying, we can't really speak to what he's saying because he's talking about some shit that goes on that we don't see.
No, but he's talking about the public shit.
I don't know.
I was listening. I really was listening.
He said teams. The teams need to be held
Yeah,
accountable.
but he yes.
He never said anything about the
He said
media.
held accountable. No, he didn't have to say the media. He said held accountable for the way they're treated publicly. Did you hear it, Chicks? Or am I
Yes.
bugging out?
But that's where I was confused though, because I was confused as to like if he felt that they were being ridiculed or embarrassed for coming open about how they feel.
Right.
That was one argument. But then the other argument was if they were embarrassed because of the fact that they make these decisions without even consulting with them.
Both.
And then if they wanted to make,
What was the
If they want to
make
a
their
decision,
point
What was
or
the-
make
they
the
get in trouble
decision.
for it.
Right, exactly.
But what was the example he gave? He gave the example of
publicizing?
it was all public.
Right.
Every example he gave was public embarrassment.
Okay, well, all right.
But I don't see these teams doing that.
Right.
He has one example.
But how often do players get traded?
All the
A
time.
lot,
All the
right?
time, yeah.
So he can. I would see the examples he's given because those are the public ones that we know. Because when you sit in front of these cameras, we don't know he could name all these little boo boo players that we know. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't see this shit. They kind of remain quiet so they can protect their careers. They don't want to get ridiculed. But the bigger players, we know about those. So I'm thinking he's using the bigger ones as an example because we know about them.
He's Beanie Siegel talking about Jay-Z not coming to court. I thought we was family. Like, what is the nice way for a team to trade
Because you know why I would say it was cap. I'm sorry, Chinks. You know why I would say if it's cap, I would say it's cap if he's talking about himself. He's speaking up for another player.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean
Andre Drummond.
That don't mean it ain't cap. The cap. Let me specify what the cap is. The cap is are NBA teams doing this regular?
According to him, yes.
Well, I don't see. I don't see.
And
I
his
don't
word
see the
is-
public. I don't see.
Well, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But he did say something at the end that kind of like supports what we're trying to figure out which side of the argument he's on, where he said he kind of related it to like them saying that the player has a problem. It's not that the organization doesn't seem to have it together.
They're not accounting. Right.
That's
Right.
also cap. That I heard when he said that because organizations get ridiculed all the time for not having it together, dealing with their players. I think he was really being dramatic, bro. Like, put on any sports show and you're gonna hear. All right, he's specifying the NBA. Put on any sports show, you're gonna hear NBA organizations being ridiculed.
You keep referring back to the media.
No, what is he talking about?
The inner workings of the organization that he works for.
He didn't say inner workings. I think you're reading it like that. I didn't hear him say that. Every example he gave was something public. This dude finding out he got traded during an interview.
But Quasi, that would be the examples that he would give because that's the ones we can put a face on.
Okay.
Because if this thing
happens... But you can't add other examples.
But he said it happens all the time. He said that.
What happens all the time? Public scrutiny? I don't know.
I think his problem is NBA making decisions on players, and when the players try to make those own decisions on themselves, they get penalized.
But why is that a problem when you know the dynamic? You signed to them. You are their employee now.
I think it's a big deal.
No, it's not about whether it's a big deal or not. Is what he's describing what it is, and if it is what it is, why? How? What's the alternate? Like, what's the alternative? Like, how do you trade somebody in a nice way?
But it's kind of like when artists in the industry talk about the industry.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll say, oh, they haven't released my music, or they don't agree with the music I want to release.
What you signed?
Shit like that. But you signed for it.
But we know the industry is fucked up.
Yeah.
So is the game, though.
That's what I'm saying.
So is the game. That shit is a business.
Wait. How is it fucked up?
It's manipulative.
No, wait. No, all right. He's talking about...
The industry's fucked up.
No. We know the industry. I'm talking about the game. Because we're comparing the two. He's specifically talking about the way players are treated when they get traded. But what about it is... I would love to hear him expound on that. Because, like, what about it is fucked up? Because it sounded like he's talking about business with the lens of emotion. That's what it sounds like. That's why I said Beanie Siegel talking about Jay-Z.
I get it.
It's like, what... Like, and I keep asking, Dirk, what is the nice way to trade somebody? You just finished the game, right? We just decided we're going to trade you, right? You're about to play a game. It's 4 p.m. We decided to trade you. Your game is at 7 p.m., right? The game ends at 10 p.m. You play another game 7 p.m. the next day. When is the right time to tell you you got traded? When? Tell me when. 2 a.m.?
I get it.
10 a.m. the next morning?
I don't think that's his issue. I don't think that's his issue. I don't think that's his issue.
But he was also...
I think the issue is when a player voices his concerns about that.
Yeah, because he was talking about
the fuck shit,
them
they
getting
get penalized for it.
Fined.
But Dirt.
That's wrong.
But Dirt, when organizations trade certain players or make decisions, they get ridiculed too. No. You're talking about getting penalized.
Yeah, they don't get penalized for that. The players suffer. The organization don't suffer.
Why do I need to publicly say that I want to get traded? What if I want to get traded, right? I'm going to the office of my organization, and I'm going to ask to be traded.
Right.
What's the point of saying it on a microphone in media? Because that's when they get penalized. Why do they do that? Why does a player do that?
I think it's to feel that they have the choice.
Well,
I'm saying, why do they publicly say, I want to get traded from this place?
But also, let's be clear. We do know that there's a diva mentality with a lot of these players, and only that's reserved for maybe 10 players in the league. Anthony Davis is one of them.
That's homie with the unibrow?
Yeah, it's only the elite players. LeBron can do that. Kyrie
can do what?
Can do that publicly.
But he got fined.
Right, but only that. But that also that 100,000 ain't shit to him.
But my question is,
why
do you feel they're doing it?
To speed up the process.
So
that's why Harden did it.
So I want to get traded.
Right.
So now cool to speed up the process, right?
That makes sense.
But why? Now watch this. Why does it speed up the process?
Because it gets people.
Because it's public. It's bringing an eye to it now.
So that's them giving them backlash. So then the organization does end up getting all the backlash.
Thank you.
I get what
so it makes sense for them to find him.
I get what he's getting at.
No. But that right there is...
Or ridicule them or whatever Draymond is complaining about.
But that right there is a unique situation because that's an elite player.
But whether it's unique or not, that's what Draymond is talking about. Do not miss my point here. I'm not saying Draymond Green is not right. He's right. But he's being emotional. Dramatic.
Yeah.
He's being emotional. It's like, bro, talk about ownership.
Okay.
Talk about that.
To support his argument.
He just went on a rant, right? You know what I'm saying? He should have said some shit like, man, you know what I'm saying? We mess around and start our own league. Then I would have been like, yeah, protect that man. You know what I'm saying? Because what we talking about? He protested.
Yeah, it's like at the end of
That's
the
like you saying, my mom said I can't go out.
Yeah.
That's your mom.
all
That's
right,
your mom.
let me
You
throw-
knew.
Let me throw him some bail.
I get it.
You know how I feel about protesting.
Watch this.
Retarded.
If the media, if the organization utilizes the media to castrate players and to make themselves look good,
Yeah.
he's doing it now. He's utilizing the media,
The media.
to make the organization look. He's doing exact same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
That's the good. That's where
That's true. He's
he's
applying
bringing
pressure.
attention to it now.
Yeah.
So now they under the scope.
But it can be easily rebutted though, because
It can't be if you giving all these. It can't be.
bro, here's my problem with his argument.
Mm-hmm.
If I knew him, I'd be like, yo, but Dre. Like, I feel like if I knew him, I would call him Dre. Like, yo, Dre. Like, they can easily just say NBA organizations get ridiculed all the time. You know how he said, you know how D Wade just said, yeah, they can use the media. He was like, those ain't leaks. They use
media
the
puts it
media
out.
to put it out. Okay, and then they get ridiculed all the time. Stephen A. Smith.
Not
shit,
like the players.
because we care more about the players.
Well, what they said.
We have an emotional attachment with the player.
The way D Wade explained it, he said the players only have themselves or their agents.
Yeah.
The media is the most powerful tool there.
Yeah.
So, but the organization has the media at their disposal. So it is an uneven playing field.
I think that
Yeah.
I think they
Without getting
avoid-
fined.
Right.
Because the whole time I'm wondering, the NBA has been going on for years. They had to have ran through this a few times
Yeah,
before,
yeah.
right?
100%.
So my thing is, it's not like they haven't tried this before. In my mind, I'm thinking as a business professional, I'm thinking they have probably tried many different ways to handle this situation, but they probably have realized that they act emotional.
Yeah.
And they don't want them to react in a certain way where it's gonna get them out the game.
You talking about the fines? What are you talking about?
With the fines or with how they break the news to them.
Okay. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
The way they break the news to them.
The way they break the news is so abrupt. Sometimes they're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just have to adapt.
And it's always when they make those abrupt trades, it's always in favor of the team.
Of the team.
It's
as
never
it should be.
right, but you still
it's
have
a
to
team
take
effort.
But you still have to take into consideration that's a person.
Yes.
Correct.
That's fucked up.
Correct.
So what is it? So all right. So I keep asking because I'm really with you on this argument.
Right.
I just, you know me, I need what is the proper way to do it? Do they need a letter? Do they take them out for dinner?
Definitely.
Like, what are we doing here?
It definitely needs to be way more professional than that. Way more professional. If you're gonna publicly do it, just like the way you publicly could castrate somebody, publicly trade them and let them know first.
Yeah.
If that's what the brunt of his argument is,
It seems like-
it sounds like it's more.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they should allow players to announce it themselves.
Like when they let people step down instead of get
Yes.
fired.
Yeah, like-
because then it's more respectable coming
Right,
from
because
the
you're not
player.
just talking about just like if you play in Phoenix, you're gonna most likely live in Phoenix.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're not, and you get traded to fucking New York.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Now you got to uproot your whole family in a day's notice because these niggas got to bounce the next day. Like it's not
Facts.
like they got to be practicing. That's not right.
Right.
It breaks morale. Players play worse, like a bunch of shit.